Hey guys, I'm just posting this at the start of every video now before my intro, just to let you guys know that I am unable to live stream for at least 7 days. The channel has 2 copyright strikes, is at risk of being taken down. I have a new one, so go and check out the most important video ever on my channel. Link is in the description for that. Anyway guys, let's get into another video. Thanks for watching. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a Star Wars show that I watched the trailer for a while ago. I enjoyed it. I managed to get one reaction video, but as you heard at the start of the video, we can't have reaction videos on the channel at the moment, unfortunately. That show is The Mandalorian. Season 1 is now over. Let's break it down and get into what I thought of The Mandalorian Season 1. So The Mandalorian is written by Jon Favreau, who is a big part of the MCU. He also directed The Lion King, which was okay, but anyway, The Mandalorian itself really worked as a TV show. Star Wars, for me, as I've described in multiple videos, Disney has milked this franchise, but this just felt like a refreshing change. The backstory and origins that we got to learn later on of this Mandalorian bounty hunter, that we've seen bounty hunters before, but not like this, and it just set up a good free-flowing story with some likable characters, and I guess you can say some twists and turns. The thing I really like about this show is it doesn't have a plot per se. It does have a storyline, but it doesn't have a plot or a sequence. It jumps, but at the same time as jumping, it works, and it uses nostalgia as well. So the first episode, obviously the pilot, showed him going after a bounty, and he met a really cool character, a farmer named I can't pronounce the name. There are some tough names in this show. Anyway, he has a very great quote, "I have spoken." There are some memorable quotes from this series. Really cool character, adapts to the Star Wars universe. And then there's a hunting droid that he is with, IG-11, and when they attempt to find this bounty, it turns out that, spoiler alert at this point, it is the child, Baby Yoda. Now, I don't like using the term Baby Yoda too much. I prefer to use the child, as that's what this was. And this was a cool twist. I'm glad this wasn't spoiled for me. I didn't watch this as soon as it came out. I think I waited about 6 days before I watched it, and I managed to avoid. Chapter 2, again, we get this Khalil, I hate the guy's name. We have Jawas, something we haven't seen in Star Wars for a long time. Very good. Now, this has one of my favorite scenes in the series. When the child uses the Force to levitate, really surprised me. And then the Mandalorian stabs and kills her, showing that this is a little bit dark. And then eventually they do repair the ship. But I think Season 2 left a big mark on me. I really enjoyed Episode 2, The Child. Episode 3, called The Sin. I'm just trying to read about it now. Mandalorian. Didn't think much of, unfortunately. This was the one where he were starting to get a backstory, because it showed other Mandalorian. But I don't know. I think Episode 2 for me was the most memorable so far. Every episode was quite enjoyable for the most part, though. Episode 4 was Sanctuary, where they went to what was the planet? Sorgan. And there was kind of, see, there's so much to dissect that I'm forgetting about. Cara Dune was a mercenary ex-rebel that he met. She was a pretty cool character, and she came back later in the series. But yeah, they spend some time in a village. There's some cool fight scenes. Overall, not too much in my opinion. Episode 5 was another one that I really liked. The Mandalorian got in a bit of a dogfight with someone who was trying to be a bounty hunter. I believe his name was Toro. I'm just trying to find now. Yeah, Toro. And this crew that there's an unanswered question though. The end of the episode featured a mysterious figure approaching over the body of Shand, and at first I thought it was Boba Fett, but it never got touched on again, and it kind of annoyed me. But I did enjoy episode 5. I enjoyed like the pod bike racing side of thing. There's so much to get through. Episode 6 was The Prisoner. Now this from memory was the one where Bill Burr guest starred, and we had kind of a heist mission going on. I remember that towards the end they actually survived. Mayfield, Berg and Xian were revealed to be locked in the prison cell and spared by the Mandalorian, whereas a lot of the other ones who tried to kill the Mandalorian didn't get so lucky. And there was one of the characters that was seen in Jabba's castle, which was pretty cool. Chapter 7, The Reckoning. It kind of felt like a two-part finale, Chapter 7 and 8. Now, Chapter 7 was released on the December 18, so 5 days after Chapter 6, because it didn't want to clash with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Now, this episode was pretty good. It had a very sad ending. It had a cliffhanger, I guess, so you didn't know what happened, but you were pretty sure. And we finally got to meet the main villain of the series that has been setting up slowly, and that is Moff Gideon. We didn't really get back much of a backstory, which I was expecting to, and we got a bit more of seeing the child and the Force powers again that we hadn't seen in a while. I think it was only episode 2, 7 and 8 that Baby Yoda used the Force. Okay, let's speak about this finale, because this finale was fucking awesome. So, I'm just going to read what's in front of me because it helps. IG-11 rescues the child from the stormtroopers. Before I speak about that, the stormtroopers themselves were so funny. They were comedic. It really worked. It was a fun scene. And one of the stormtroopers was voiced by a famous actor by the name of Jason Sudeikis. The other thing I want to mention is that Taika Waititi, I don't know if I've said that right, directed this episode. And he's a very good director. He was behind Thor Ragnarok. I was about to say Thor Love and Thunder, but that's not out yet. Moff Gideon, the main villain of the series, announces that he knows the identities of all these people, naming the Mandalorian, which is something we haven't seen yet, and that they face death by sundown if they don't surrender. IG-11 arrive and breaks the standoff. There was a really cool fight scene between the Mandalorian, Moff Gideon, and June. I think that's not Karga, it's Kara, isn't it? I don't know what's going on here. The child uses the Force to turn an attacking stormtrooper's flamethrower back on him. That was one of my favourite scenes of the series, when the child used the Force, and we got to get an understanding of Force energy a little bit. We also got some questions as to what Yoda is, and I didn't like that. I personally like the way George Lucas left it open. In my opinion, this wasn't needed, but I think it definitely sets up a second series, and it's something to be excited about. Gideon himself as a villain, he wasn't too menacing, but I hope that we get to see more of him, a darker character. I wonder whether he is Force sensitive due to this ending. We also got to see like an R2-D2 character on the ship. It was just a fun finale. The jetpack was very cool, getting to see the jetpack. And I forget the lady's name, but the other Mandalorian that gives the armor, I forget what it's called. Oh my god, I'm having a terrible memory. I'm a bit stressed lately, guys, with videos, with what's going on the channel. But no, it served as a great finale, and I really liked this ending because it was revealed that the Mandalorian relic that we last saw in Star Wars Rebels, or the Clone Wars, I think the Clone Wars actually, was the Darksaber. Now we'll have to wait and see what this means, but Moff Gideon cuts himself out of a downed TIE fighter using the Darksaber, and the Mandalorian leaves with the child, and Karga stays behind with June on that planet as the new enforcers. IG-11 self-destructs and eliminates the enemy. Such an enjoyable series. I can't wait to see what happens in Season 2. As I said, there's so much going on with this show. It is very hard to speak about and I lose track. It would be a lot easier for me if this was longer and I could do live stream, but unfortunately that was the case. But I felt a lot of nostalgia. I felt good watching The Mandalorian. Obviously the child was cute as anything, but just an enjoyable story and very different in the Star Wars universe. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. Let me know what you guys thought of The Mandalorian in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.